The other day on the channel, we broke down a report detailing an injury that Luka Doncic had sustained just a few days prior. And at first, Mavericks fans were freaking out. They were unsure of what was going on. We have about 20 days till the start of the season. We don't want to hear about our best player getting hurt. But as more information came out, it really wasn't that big of a deal. It was a calf bruise, something that Luka Doncic has dealt with before, and he really only needs about a week or two and he'll be ready to go, but by the time the season begins. But we have more news about more injuries to the Dallas Mavericks roster. We talked about how Maxi Kleber as well as Kessler Edwards both have sprained ankles, but now we have a new report that Dante Exum is going to miss significant time and may require surgery in an injury that just happened today. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what is going on with the Dallas Mavericks. Why is everybody getting injured? And if Dante Exum will have to miss significant time, what does this mean for players like Spencer Dinwiddie or even Jaden Hardy? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 13,328 subscribers, which I appreciate each and every one of you guys. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, the live streams, the news vids, even the giveaways, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But like I said the other day, we reported that Luka Doncic has had a calf contusion. It's really just a calf bruise, something that he's had before. It's not that big of a deal. But like I said, we've got about 20 days till the start of the season. You don't want to hear about injuries, especially when your team just made the NBA Finals. We made all the right moves over the offseason. We are good to go. On paper, we look like one of the best teams in the league. The only thing that can really stop us is ourselves and injuries. And if we can prevent both of those things from stopping us, we should be able to win the finals, or at the very least make it back to the finals. But Jason Kidd did have this to say the other day on Media Day, saying that Jason Kidd mentions that we will probably see Dante Exum and Maxi Kleber in the second unit for the Dallas Mavericks, would mean that Spencer Dinwiddie and Max Prosper would most likely be in the third unit. Obviously, things could change, and with the current just report of injuries, I do believe that can change. With Maxi Kleber in his rolled ankle, or sprained ankle really, he won't really miss significant time, so maybe we won't see Max getting a little promotion in the lineup just yet. But with the news of Dante Exum, it does seem like Spencer Dinwiddie will actually get more minutes other than being in the third unit, which in my opinion, I think Spencer Dinwiddie should be with that second unit as the point guard. That lineup with Spencer Dinwiddie leading it, I have a bit more faith in that, and I think it works better if you have Dante Exum. That's just my opinion. But what's going on with Dante, you may ask? Hold on, I'm all over the place. It was reported via Shams that Dallas Mavericks guard Dante Exum has sustained a serious right wrist injury that could require surgery, sources tell The Athletic. Treatment options are being evaluated for Exum, who emerged as a key reserve guard on Mavs' NBA Finals run last season. Tough early season blow for the Mavs. So what is going on with the Dallas Mavericks? What is Jason Kidd doing in these two-a-day practices? Is he going a little bit too hard? Are these players coming into training camp in shape? Are they dealing with other injuries? Well, in the case of Dante Exum, he did have a weird right finger injury in the Olympics, which really wasn't that big of a deal. But now he has a serious right wrist injury that may require surgery, which means he will be out for significant time. Which again, that means we'll have Spencer Dinwiddie with the second unit. But what does this mean for Dante Exum? Why is he dealing with these injuries back to back? Although the one during the Olympics, the finger injury, that's kind of minor. You could have just jammed your finger. But with this injury, I'm very curious as to what is going on, what actually happened. And like I said in the other video, it was also reported, Jason Kidd mentioned Maxi Kleber and Kessler Edwards has a sprained ankle. Neither player has been able to participate in training camp. A clear return timetable wasn't mentioned for either player, but they're both recovering. So in my opinion, I don't think this could be a case of Jason Kidd going a little bit too hard in the practices or in the training camp. I don't think it's also players coming in out of shape and not ready to go. We've seen everything from Luka Doncic all the way to even Dwight Powell. The guys look good. They're ready to go. Things do happen. Injuries are part of the game. But I don't want to just sound the alarm yet and just say everything's over. We're not gonna make it to the finals. It's no reason to raise any alarms. The team is deep. We have the right personnel. If this was last season, I would be a little bit more concerned with the injuries. But with how the team is constructed now, without Kessler Edwards, that's one less person for garbage time, if we're being honest. Maxi Kleber with a sprained ankle, I'm not too worried about that either because you have Max who can take some of those minutes, but I still think Maxi will be fine by the time the season begins. But with Spencer Dinwiddie coming in for Dante Exum, I kind of like that better. If our second unit was going to be Dante Exum, as well as Quentin Grimes, Daniel Gafford, Najee Marshall, I kind of like throwing in Spencer Dinwiddie in lieu of Dante Exum. I just think that lineup just works a little bit better for us. We have someone like Spencer Dinwiddie if he's alongside Quentin Grimes. You have a playmaker, you got a shooter, and then you got Najee Marshall, and then you got Daniel Gafford, then you got Maxi Kleba. So it provides defense as well as a point guard who knows how to facilitate, a point guard that knows the team and is very selfless, but is also able to take those tough shots and isn't afraid to shoot the ball. And that's something that we did see last season. At times, Dante Exum did look like a very good defender. At times, he looked like he just kind of went into his shell. He would just, let me just pass it back to Kyrie. Let me just pass it back to Luka Doncic. Where in times, Dante Exum made very big shots for us, although some cases it did take a few misses before he made the big shot. But Dante Exum definitely had some big moments last season for us, and with this newfound injury, it does have me somewhat concerned for the Dallas Mavericks. Maybe not immediately, but in the long run, if it's February or March of next year, we're halfway through the season, and if we're still dealing with injuries, how does this team look? I did mention in the last video, I would like this team to have more minutes played together instead of having multiple different lineups that we have to run through, either because we're trading away too many players, or in this current case, because everyone keeps getting injured. We need this team healthy. We definitely do. And although Dante Exum being out doesn't hurt us right away, like I said, even though Maxi Kleba has a sprained ankle, I don't think that hurts us right away. And even though Luka Doncic has a calf bruise, I don't think that hurts us right away. But it is somewhat, I guess, an eyebrow raise of what is going on with the Dallas Mavericks. Other teams are dealing with injuries too. It's not a weird phenomenon that's only happening to us. But with this team currently constructed, the way that this team is just built, just the talent that we have going into this upcoming season, health is imperative for us. We need everybody healthy. The things that this team can accomplish will rely solely on who's available to play. And if players have to miss time, I'm okay with it being this early in the season. I don't want anybody to get injured. But if they're going to get injured, sure. Get injured in the summer, miss time maybe a month or two to start the season. Because by next year, by March, April, leading into May, coming into the playoffs, this team needs to be fully healthy. So is it something to worry about now? You can be a little bit worried, but no reason to raise alarm. I'm not hitting the big red button. I'm not saying throw in the towel, the season's over. Our role players are getting hurt, but we have enough role players where our second unit will be fine. And I've seen this Dallas Mavericks team do a lot more with a lot less. So I'm not too worried. I am absolutely fine right now. I might be just coping. I might just be telling myself that I'm fine. But I truly believe that the Dallas Mavericks are fine. But we got to be careful. If we have another player get hurt that may have to miss time, knock on wood, it doesn't happen, then I don't know what more this roster can do. Jason Kidd, he had a good problem of having a lot of players to work with that he could plug and play, and that's a good problem to have. You don't know who you're going to throw in there because it all can work together. But as certain players are unavailable, that makes our lineups and our rotations a little bit more set. That means Jason Kidd can experiment a little bit less with it, but that might mean that we find what works, and if it works, no need to fix it. But if we do take a look right here, Jason Kidd said but this is just reiterating the Luka Doncic injury. Just for anybody that's worrying, Jason Kidd said there's no concern about Luka Doncic's injury and he'll be reevaluated in a week. Kidd added, I think he got hit in the calf and reported tight yesterday. They went and got an MRI and saw that it was a strain. So yes, Luka Doncic will be fine. Maxi, I'm sure with a sprained ankle, he'll be fine in the next 20 days before the season starts. He'll be fine. Dante Exum, he's going to have to miss significant time, possibly get surgery. But what does that mean for Jaden Hardy? We talked about Spencer Dinwiddie, but if we look right here on Media Day, Jason Kidd did say, when discussing competition within the Mavericks depth chart, Jason Kidd mentioned Jaden Hardy has been patiently waiting and will get his opportunity this season. Jaden Hardy is a player that his name kind of gets floated around by fans of who we want to see grow and develop or who you want to see trade away for someone else. And I've always been on the fence about things because I truly believe that Jaden Hardy is a great young player who has a very high ceiling. He is very talented. He just needs the opportunity. It's very hard to look like a great player if you're not allowed to make those mistakes. Jaden Hardy, if he's going to be the player that everyone thinks he's going to be, he needs the minutes. He needs to be able to make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and keep playing. Just like we saw last year with Derrick Lively. Derrick Lively was very rough around the edges to start the season, but he was allowed to make mistakes, learn from those mistakes. And by the end of the season, going to the playoffs, I don't know. He looked like one of the best centers, at least the best young centers in the league. Definitely looked better than Chet Holmgren. So if Derrick Lively can have the opportunity to make mistakes and learn from them, then Jaden Hardy should too. And without Dante Exum, maybe we do see a little bit more of Jaden Hardy. Maybe him and Spencer Dinwiddie will split those minutes at the guard for the second unit. Who knows? But you let me know down in the comment section down below. Without Dante Exum, who would you rather see replace him? Spencer Dinwiddie or Jaden Hardy? Let me know in the comment section. We can have a conversation. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far into the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. The winner will be announced next week in a live stream. I will be at Fan Jam this Sunday. I'll be live streaming the whole event. So if you see me, say what's up. You can join the live stream. I'll be walking around asking people questions, bugging people, just being my normal annoying self. But until next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.